For a very uneventful card or like a shitty looking card, this card actually solved a lot of problems, man. Tom Aspinall confirmed the quitter. It's funny because I feel like things I say come into fruition the funniest ways. What is the narrative about Tom Aspinall getting eye poked, going like showing no external damage? His eyes were fine. Woes to the doctors. They say his eyes fine, but he said he can't see and he just quit on himself. He didn't continue fighting. Then his teammate pokes someone else in the eyes, falls up against the fence, but then he thinks the fight's over. Then Waldo Cortez Acosta says, I'm not a pussy, I'm going to keep fighting. He literally said, I'm no pussy, I'm going to keep fighting. That's what he said verbatim before continuing the fight, then knocking out Tom Aspinall's partner. Bro, he did everything he was supposed to do, bro. He's hustled with the stars. He's tussled with the law. He shook his homie hand after they punched him in the jaw. He's never been a fraud. Tom Aspinall, this was the funniest situation happening. And like the Tom Aspinall fans are so in shambles. Like I see the gurus and all them, they're coping. Well, I'm not gonna lie, this was tough, but I don't think it was that serious. It's funny because like I can't believe Cortez Acosta's eye was bleeding after. That's how he knew it was a bad eye poke. Even with the bleeding eye, he didn't get poked like Tom Aspinall did and said, I want a way out. He was like, I can't see, stop the fight. Tom Aspinall did that after the second he got eye poked. Cortez Acosta took 5 minutes, continued fighting, and he won by knockout. That's besides the point. We went 10-3 on this card. Not my proudest card, but only 3 picks wrong for the best predictor on YouTube. That's nothing big. One of my locks for this card was saying Steve Garcia beats the African. Exactly what I did happen. I was surprised about how easy Onama looked in this fight. I thought he was going to put up a better fight than that at least, but of course he didn't, which is very embarrassing from him. But I did say Steve Garcia was like the second lock. I said he's the lock of the card outside of my underdog pick that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But yeah, Steve Garcia proved me right. Just goes in there, breaks Onama with pressure. Onama looked like he just didn't want to be there. Probably the worst version of Onama. I don't know if he was injured or stumbled, but or just pressured or something scared. But Steve Garcia shows him he's very insignificant. Really easy fight to predict. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Another Mr. Kenny prediction. Now this is one of the 3 fights I got wrong, okay? I'm not proud that I got it wrong, but it was funny the way I got it wrong. I'll be real. Elijah seemed a lot better than Court. Like, he seemed like he was in control of that fight. Similar to Tom Aspinall. Like, Gon was in control of the fight a little bit, but Elijah, it was close. Like, Cortez Acosta was flipping him against the clinch, kind of working him there, Once Elijah created space, though, the hand speed when Cortez Acosta was against the fence was crazy. I was like, oh my God, Elijah's going to knock him out soon. He gets eye poked. And in the middle of the eye poke, he was like, holding his eye immediately. The ref didn't see it. So Elijah goes in there and just starts whooping and boom, boom, boom. While he can't see it. The fight gets stopped. He does wave it off, which this UFC been getting so weird lately. I'll be real with these eye pokes. It's like so much weird things are happening. But the fight gets waved off. I did see the referee actually wave it off, by the way. I actually saw him do it. Referee's going back, like waving off fights. I was actually celebrating because, Elijah gets. I knew he poked. I was like, I think he poked him, but let's go. I got the pick right. We're going to get, I'm going to go 100%. I was so happy. And then, something happens. It stopped the fight, and I'm like, wait, did he get eye poked? They showed the replay. I was like, it's a bad eye poke. Then I saw Cortez Acosta covering his eye, like he was shaking his head. You could see he was in pain. But there was something in him. Like when I say fighting spirit's real, I kept saying about Tom Aspinall, he didn't have fighting spirit in that fight. People said I was coping. Now everyone's going to say I was right. But most people are still going to stay on the Aspinall side and be like, well, Cortez Acosta Cortez Acosta made a dumb choice. Or they're going to cope in weird ways that make them look stupid. Cortez Acosta made the choice of a fighter. Like I said, some people are fighters, some people are quitters. Could Cortez Acosta went out as a quitter per se? Yes. He would have been a quitter, but to be honest, Cortez Acosta's eye was actually bleeding. He actually was showing external features, of trauma. When Aspinall went to the doctor, they were confused. They're like, there's no external thing of trauma. We looked into your eyes, you look fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Cortez Acosta, you could already see external trauma. We know it's an abrasion. You could already make the assumption it's an abrasion because you're already seeing his eyes bleeding. He's walking out the octagon still. He never fully recovered. He said he could see about 20-30% out of his eyes, but he still believed in himself while kind of getting outclassed in a way against Elijah. Elijah was putting it on him against the fence there, but he still continued to fight despite not looking like he was a clear, better MMA fighter out there too. Aspinall was literally a very similar situation where I feel as if Gon looked better than Aspinall before that fight ended. And he was like, okay, he looks better than me. I'm going to take the way out. Cortez Acosta could have been like, okay, I'm not going to lie. When he had me poked, bro, he was even willing on me. He looked a little bit quick, man. I don't really know about this fight. He has me backing up against on the fence the whole time. He's not giving me pressure. He's not giving me space to work. I don't really like this fight. He could have took it out off that, but he was like, fuck that, dude. I'm not a bitch. He literally said, no, I mean no pussy. hey, say what you want. You could cope in the comments and cry for Aspinall and be like, well, in my heart, I still think I'm supposed to go. But you could do whatever you want. At the end of the day, this is a perfect contrast of someone who's going to quit when shit gets tough and someone who's going to fight when shit gets tough. And not only fight and continue, but fight and continue with the knockout. You couldn't have written up a better script. To fight and continue after getting poked like that, where your eye is bleeding, and still fighting when you have an eye clearly compromised and getting the guy out in within 30 seconds by knockout after the fact. This is crazy. This is what mindset's about. This is what mentality's about. This is the difference between someone who wants to be champion and someone who got a champion gifted to them because someone else vacated because they're scared. Jones is still a pussy, by the way. But doesn't change the fact that Cortez Acosta, via mindset, is already a better fighter than Tom Aspinall. I'm not saying via skill, but via mindset. That's someone I wouldn't mind as champion. That's someone who gained aura. And he got rid of a really good prospect in Dulgarian. I feel bad for Dulgarian, bro. He was like, his world just turned upside down, bro. He was celebrating a win, and suddenly he's knocked out unconscious on the ground by Cortez Acosta, who's hitting the salsa dance and over here emoting with one eye. I'm glad this happened. I feel like this needed to happen on a card like this. We needed something on a card to make this card more enticing, and that's what we got, bro. We figured out Tom Aspinall was a guaranteed quitter. Now no one, not even Aspinall fans, could defend this. Aspinall fans are looking at this and they're pissed about it. Imagine people just angry that this happened. Fuck, why did that happen? Why did he keep fighting and get a win? Bro, you can't get mad at people for fighting for championship spirit. You could get mad at people for quitting and not showing championship spirit like I did. You know, and I'm probably going to get hate on this too. They're going to be coping like, oh, well, you're right, but I'm still mad that you're right. Be mad. I don't give a shit. You're mad that this guy continued fighting and he beat a prospect who also happens to be Tom Aspinall's training partner. You can't, like the narratives, man, happen to be Tom Aspinall's training partner as well. And the same guy, Tom Aspinall, was like, I wouldn't want to fight that guy. So he's too close to me. He's one of my close friends. I train with him every day. He gets me in practice. And yeah, he gets slept by Cortez Acosta. I think Cortez Acosta has what it takes to beat Tom Aspinall. Good defensive wrestling. Not a bitch. And he can swing when he needs to with power. Tom Aspinall, this guy who just beat your training partner, who whoops your ass every day, this guy's someone to keep your eye on for real. Cortez Acosta gained aura. Tom Aspinall did nothing but lose aura. He's farming with eye patches for Halloween, making jokes. Yeah, keep making jokes while these guys are making impressions. Make jokes, they make impressions. Dale, brother. You can't stop Cortez Acosta. He showed the difference between a quitter and a fighter tonight, and I'm glad he did that. Congrats to Cortez Acosta. Like I said, one of the 3 picks I got wrong. You know, I get every pick right, damn near. But one of the 3 picks I got wrong, and I'm celebrating it because what happened for me to get this pick wrong. Congrats to Waldo Cortez Acosta, making him look like a fraud. One of the other fights I got wrong was Jeremiah Wells and Themba Gorimbo. I knew this fight was 50-50. That's what it was. Gorimbo wins the first round. Jeremiah wins the second round. Very close, though. And then Jeremiah just holds him for the third round and gets the win done. This guy built like a Ninja Turtle, fights like a Ninja Turtle, too. He gets on top, he uses like a hard shell that you can't get off. Gorimbo's they're both kind of mid. They're both like low level, I'll be real. Some decent grappling exchanges. I don't really care about this fight, but congratulations to Jeremiah Wells for beating Gorimbo, who's just so bad now. I'm not gonna pack it up, Gorimbo. This is my underdog lock of the card. He was plus 220 underdog. I was very confident on this fight. The only 2 fights that I said were locks were the main event and Del Valle for a reason. Because I knew Del Valle, even though he was an underdog, I knew he had really good defensive wrestling and offensive wrestling. Dulgarian's a really good wrestler, but his striking, after the C-Rod fight, seeing him get broken, I felt like he was going to get broken over the course of the fight, but Del Valle broke him in 1 round. Like, he kept farming submission attempts just to make Dulgarian, it's just like, I give up. He practically made him give up. Every choke, I kept saying, I think they're nerfing the rear naked chokes. These rear naked chokes be in, guys. But people don't be getting finished. Like, he had this rear naked choke in multiple times before eventually Dulgarian tapped. And I don't even think Dulgarian tapped because it was wicked in based on the way Dulgarian was defending the whole time before. But I think it's because Del Valle just kept attempting it to over time. Like, Dulgarian had that quit ability in him, so he just quit. So congrats to Del Valle. One of the better prospects that you should keep your eye on. Because after this fight, I'm definitely keeping my eye on him. I said it before his last fight too. This guy's he's a sleeper, man. So that's why I was so confident in him being an underdog pick against Dulgarian, who has shown quit in the past. Unironically, he literally quits till Del Valle. So congratulations to Del Valle, Dale, my friend, Dale. Charles Radtke, I ended up going Charles Radtke for this fight, but I said it was going to be a close fight. But I was surprised about how well Charles Radtke looked in the grappling. Daniel Frunza, like I said, he was showing that the rear naked choke was nerfed, but eventually Charles Radtke finally was relentless with it and then gets him out with the rear naked choke in third. But Radtke had the rear naked choke, I believe, in the first and maybe even the second. But every time, Frunza just refused to tap and would always fight the hands. Interesting fight between the two of them. Bro, I literally feel, this is off topic, but I feel my wisdom tooth and my top coming in. That's weird. Hey, anyways, that's so random. Anyways, Charles Radtke gets it done via a million rear naked choke attempts, and Frunza has heart, but he doesn't have skill, does he? Not Cemento. I did have him winning this fight as well, and he surprised me how bad he looked in the first round, but he was breaking Durden over the course of like the fight with the low leg kicks. Eventually breaks him, stops him from fighting. And then he ends up finishing via his grappling on the ground. This is weird because Durden was like looked like he was looking good, but you could see Durden have like kind of he looked like he was gonna break on himself. Then eventually like Nascimento starts hurting him on the feet in the second round, gets in the grappling with him, and then submits him with like I believe it was an anaconda choke, Darce choke, something like that. So well done, Nascimento, looking great in that fight. Billy Akana, Kevin Christian. This fight was such a brutal choke. I did have Akana winning, of course. I said he was going to outwork him. He did more than outwork the 6'7" guy. Takes him, I had to do it, Takes him down, and I feel bad because this guy was tapping like 10 times. Almost broke Charles' tap record, He was tapping a lot. But he ends up submitting him, and he goes unconscious despite tapping. Poor guy. He's going to think again before stepping into the octagon after getting choked out after tapping. Kind of great win for him. Very easy to call. The last fight I got wrong. This was my first fight I got wrong out of the 3. I knew it was 50-50, but I ended up leaning Lee because I believe Lee's grappling was a little bit superior. I was not right per se. Lee's still a really good prospect. He has a good marauding style, mixing the grappling. But Kwamba's ability to scramble is what won him the 3rd round and won him the fight ultimately, and he had more endurance, so he outworked Lee. Even though Lee outstruck him and like was winning most of the grappling exchanges, Kwamba showed heart and resilience, and that's what got him the win. Dante Johnson and Dumas. Dumas is probably the worst fighter ever. He just quits when shit gets tough. The way he got choked out was kind of embarrassing. He kind of just gave up on himself. Yes, the choke was there, but he could have easily fought that. Dumas is just one of those people who just shows up for a paycheck and gets his ass beat. It was a pretty easy pick with Dante Johnson. I thought he was going to knock him out, but ends up submitting him, which pissed me off even more because, bro, why not just knock out this bum? But I guess Dumas is so bad you could just finish him in any way, shape, or form. And that's what happened in this fight. So congrats to Dante Johnson. I'll be real, chat. I picked Dumont to win this fight, and I got it right. I feel like I got this pick wrong. Kelton Vera definitely won, but great robbery win to Dumont that I didn't know they would give out. But yeah, weird how the UFC robbed. I thought it was a pretty clear 2-1 Vera, but great robbery win for Dumont, I guess. You never know with WMMA. And yeah, Dumont gets a win that she just didn't win. Congrats to her. Yeah, just more WMMA. I really don't care, guys. At least Ardeline, I did pick her to win. She does win against a Mexican who actually was pretty tough. But the TikToker Deline, who has like over 1 million on TikTok, by the way. So she has aura low key. She gets it done over the Mexicano, who was pretty game to fight. Okay, look at her though. The little Mexican feisty, yeah, baby. Oh man. Phil Rowe versus Cole. Chat, stop saying I lost to Cole today. I didn't. I did pick the South Korean to win. He did win the way I thought he was going to win. Decisively, beat him everywhere in the striking and the wrestling. Phil Rowe just wasn't as game as the South Korean. I've been keeping my eye. After I doubted him in the Oben Elliott fight and he smoked Elliott, I've been saying this guy's good. Then I wasn't surprised that when he beat Rowe. That's why I was saying I was pretty confident in this one. So congratulations to Cole. Gets it done against Rowe. No pun intended. And then this fight, I'll be real, I didn't even watch this fight, but the girl I picked won. Congrats to the lady who looks like that. Probably was a boring fight. Moral of this story, guys, mid-card, mid-name, mid-stack meter, but not mid in the storylines and dynamics that built through this card. So congratulations to Garcia and all the people who have for a lock. And congratulations to Waldo Cortez Acosta for showing he's not a quitter. That's it for me. Hope you enjoyed, and God bless. 2, 3, 4.